In 1976, IWC launches this, the Ingenieur SL, a legendary watch designed by legendary watch designer Gerald Genta. But it's 2023 and IWC has launched this. It's like the Genta Ingenieur, but it's better. Welcome back to the channel. I am Adrian and this is where I simply document things that I find interesting about the watch world. I've been a huge fan of the Ingenieur for a very long time and I've been desperate. I've made videos asking IWC to bring back the Genta era of the Ingenieur. Gerald Genta is the most famous watch designer of all time. Most brands have one or two hero products. Think about the Submariner, think about the Speedmaster, the Nautilus, the Royal Oak, the Overseas. Gerald Genta has multiple hero products under his belt. In 1972, he designed the Royal Oak for Audemars Piguet. In 1976, he designed this IWC Ingenieur. Also in 1976, he designed this, the Patek Philippe Nautilus. And in 1977, Vacheron had to answer with the 222. Not designed by Genta, but obviously heavily influenced by the trend of the Genta style sports watches. Gerald Genta has had a monumental impact in the watch world. Arguably, some watch brands are still around today because of the watches that he's designed for them, which is quite amazing. The Ingenieur SL, the SL stands for sports line. The Ingenieur SL was discontinued in 1984 after fewer than 1,000 were made and sold. Unlike the Royal Oak and unlike the Nautilus, the Ingenieur SL never became the poster boy hype watch that the other two became. Perhaps because IWC played a bit too much with the design of the Ingenieur, unlike the other two products. The current Royal Oak and the current Nautilus are so similar to the original ones that Genta sketched. And now IWC have got this Ingenieur, which is also so similar to the original. Similar to the Nautilus and similar to the Royal Oak, it's safe to say that they are the definition of timeless designs. The fact that they were designed in the 70s and those designs are still relevant today, this Ingenieur fits that bill perfectly. Design in the 70s, still relevant today, just more refined. The original Ingenieur line started way before the 70s, before this Genta Ingenieur came around. It started in the 50s as a tool watch, a watch for people that do stuff, for scientists, for explorers, for engineers. Ingenieur is French for engineer. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong though. The watch line, the purpose of the watch line was to be anti-magnetic, was to be water resistant and be able to maintain high accuracy. And the technology that was created to achieve those goals is still used today, even in my Mark 20. To make the movement anti-magnetic, they house it in a soft iron in a case. Exactly the same thing that's used today in my Mark 20 and in this Ingenieur. So the specs on this watch, it's advertised as 40mm. I measured it at 39, so it's between 39 and 40. It's 10.8mm thick. We have a screw down crown, which allows a watch to have 100 meters of water resistance. The lug-to-lug measurement of the case is 45.7mm, but the real life, the actual lug-to-lug measurement, so bracelet end to bracelet end, we have it at 49mm. There are three dial colors. We have black, silver plated, and we have aqua. The hands and indices are rhodium plated. The case is a multi-layered three-part case. So you've got the mid case, you've got the case back that holds movement in, and then you have the bezel on top that holds the glass down. Now you'll see these indents around the bezel of the original Ingenieur SL. Basically, the whole thing is a big bolt or a big nut, I guess. I don't know what. It screws into the case, and those indents are what the device clamped onto to screw it down. The challenge around that is it was very difficult for them to line anything up because ultimately you had infinite options for it to screw down. That's now been changed so everything lines up perfectly as you'd want to in a watch like this. The bracelet seems to be where a lot of these integrated bracelet watches go wrong. And this is a big difference between this version of the Ingenieur and the original Genta Ingenieur. The original Ingenieur, the bracelet kind of hung off the edge of the casing, making the lug-to-lug measurement, rather than the 49mm that it is on the new version, it was 60mm on the original. So the bracelet didn't hug around your wrist, unless you had very big wrists. The bracelet on the new version just droops pretty much straight down. So this 40mm watch suddenly becomes incredibly wearable because this bracelet can just hug around your wrist. We've got a decent taper. I like a taper on my bracelet. The bracelet starts out quite wide, 25mm, because it's part of the case, but tapers down to 18mm. The movement inside the thing is the IWC manufactured caliber 32111. The exact same movement that we have in the Mark 18. It's anti-magnetic, as mentioned before, because it has that soft iron inner case. It's automatic, beats at 28,800 vibrations an hour, has 21 joules and 120 hours of power reserve. That is a huge power reserve. A lot of watch brands, high and low, have jumped on this integrated bracelet trend. And rightly so. It's watches that are very, very popular. So naturally, these brands want to make money. So it just makes sense jumping on that hype train. But the interesting thing about IWC is that they're not jumping on the hype train. They've got a reserved seat right on the first carriage. They are in first class, sat next to the Nautilus, sat next to the Royal Oak. Because the guy who started this hype train, Gerald Genta, designed the original Ingenieur SL. If anything, it's kind of annoying that it's taken them so long to do this. This watch is brilliant. This watch, it's hard to follow up on a legend. It's hard to follow up on something so important in the history of the brand. But not only have they done it, they've genuinely made it better. They've taken the best things from the original Ingenieur, both the mechanical version and the quartz version. They've taken the design and heft and feel of the automatic version, but given it the slimness and the refined feeling of the quartz version. The bracelet on the quartz was much nicer than the one on the mechanical. It had these little humps, these little curved center links, just adding an extra little detail, a subtle detail, but it looks brilliant. My one gripe with this watch, two gripes with this watch. Firstly, it would be lovely to see the high finishing inside. It's lovely to see an open case back on this. Second gripe is I have nothing that I sell over at barkandjack.com that is suitable for this watch. The watch is going to come in a really cool little travel pouch, really nicely engineered, so you won't want to buy any of my leather watch cubes that I sell. Apart from that, this watch is brilliant. What do you guys think? Do you think IWC are too late with this? For sure, from a collector's point of view, yeah, the original one is always going to be the original. But version 2.0 is killer. Guys, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this new Ingenieur, both as a standalone piece, but also compared to the original. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. It really does help to tell the YouTube machine that you like this video and other watch people might like this video too. If you like the style of this video, then hit the subscribe button down there and that little bell icon so you get notifications when I drop a new video. And if you're on Instagram, give me a follow at barkandjack. That's it. See you guys next time. Mug. You could get a mug with your Ingenieur. That's not an Ingenieur. But IWC, I take it back. Just put a display case back on it and get a mug of your Ingenieur.